phases to gait. You can study it for years. I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible. There's the heel strike phase. There's midfoot phase. That's all through the stance phase. Then you've got the swing phase when you actually pick the foot up. But when I go to get on this foot completely, just before toe off, guess what happens? The heel bone now inverts. And when it inverts, the subtalar joint rotates up and out. And now that foot becomes a solid platform. It's solid as a rock so that you've got perfect support in that single leg stance phase, right? Because I've now just got one foot on the ground, right? And so as I go to do the toe off, everything is now externally rotating. The tibia is turning out, the femur is turning out. Now all the muscles on the inside of the hip and the inside of the calf are controlling that rotation so it doesn't go too far. They're all turning on, which now allows me to rotate completely that way. And then I start to do the opposite. So you can see how important three-plane function is, because when all that rotation happens, that's transverse plane. When I go to stand on one leg so that my hip doesn't drop and I don't limp, that's frontal plane function, because the outside of my hips and the inside of my hips are controlling my pelvis and keeping it level, keeping it from dropping when I go to pick up my leg. So that's frontal plane control, right? And this is transverse plane control. And of course, that leg swinging forward, my hamstring is coming down. And I'm going to show you some pictures. My hamstring is coming down and allowing, when that leg swings forward, my hamstring is actually helping my knee to completely extend. And how many people have been taught since the beginning of time, when we've known about anatomy, since the beginning of our knowledge of anatomy, I should say, when you go to bend your knee, that's your hamstring shortening and pulling your calf up, right? Well, that's when it shortens. But who walks around doing this? I don't know. I've never stood and had a conversation with somebody at an event and done this. It's not really a real functional thing. But how many of us get onto a machine in a gym, laying down, and we're pushing against weight to strengthen that hamstring? No, that's not authentic human function. Authentic human function for the hamstring is to control the leg as it swings forward, whether you're kicking a ball or whether you're walking or running, right? So that hamstring comes down past the knee, and it literally helps the knee to extend in swing phase. But have you ever heard of the hamstring as a knee extensor? Probably not. You've only heard of it as a knee flexor, right? I asked somebody once, can you name one normal function that we do that makes us do this? And it was so cute. One person said, well, the old-fashioned movies when the man and the woman are kissing and she does that? That was the only time anybody. So if you can think of another reason that happens, let me know. So, and I love the old movies. So that's three-plane function kind of explained sort of in a nutshell on how important it is that we train in three-plane function.